Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you joining us today for the session on International Zero Waste Day based on the United Nations theme for 2026 Zero Food Waste. Before we begin, let me briefly introduce the organization behind this initiative, IDREA, the International Decarbonization and Renewable Energy Association. IDREA is a non-profit organization committed to driving awareness and action in the areas of renewable energy, sustainability, and decarbonization through knowledge sharing and community engagement and other impactful initiatives. We aim to empower individuals and institutions to contribute towards a cleaner and more sustainable future. So you can know more about our organization in www.idrea.org. So moving on to today's session, it is a very meaningful session because it aligns with International Zero Waste Day, a global call to rethink how we consume, manage, and dispose our resources. While waste in all forms is a concern, food waste stands out as one of the most critical yet overlooked environmental challenges. When food is wasted, it is not just food that is lost. We are also wasting the water, the energy, land, and the effort that went into producing it. Even more importantly, food waste contributes significantly to greenhouse gas emissions, especially methane from landfills, which accelerates the climate change. At the same time, millions of people still face hunger every day. So, this contrast makes food waste not just an environmental issue, but also a social and ethical one. So, that is why our focus is on zero food waste on this month. It is very relevant and also necessary. To guide us through this important topic, we have two distinguished speakers with us today. Our first speaker for today is Mr. Arun Kumar. He is the Regional Director and Coordinator at No Food Waste, Chennai region, and a state committee member for the initiative Save Food, and Share Joy. With more than 10 years of professional experience in operations, business development, and social impact initiatives, he is actively working to reduce food waste and ensure surplus food reaches people in need. Through community awareness and sustainable initiatives, he continues to promote responsible food practices for a better future. We welcome you, sir. Our next speaker is Mr. Raja S. Pandian, who's a social worker, educator, and sustainability advocate, currently serving as the head of operations at No Food Waste, Chennai. With more than 10 years of experience in community development, environmental education, and grassroots initiatives, he leads large scale food recovery programs to ensure surplus food reaches people in need. Passionate about conservation and community action, he actively works to promote sustainable practices and responsible food systems. We are truly honored to have both of them here with us today to share their insights and experiences. Let us begin the session and explore how each one of us can contribute towards reducing food waste and building a more sustainable future. Over to you, sir.
Wasting almost all the resource where we have been water, even our gas, electricity, that is almost wasting. Not only wasting the resource, we are generating the methane gas. Like 7 to 8% of methane gas generated through this kind of food waste. Particularly in Chennai, we are all know very known now. We have been, seen the almost every day there is a lot of food waste, and we waste and mixed with the collection workers. Like it's almost 5,000 kg of waste which is generated by us mixed with the food waste. It's all in a dump in the Perungudi and the Kodingur, which is the dump yard in biggest dump yard in Chennai. So each and not only in Chennai, it's same situation across the Tamil Nadu, same situation across the India. So that's why we have been trying to connecting the people. Also want to be creating the awareness to the people. So this, I think this, this session will be, will be another things to create the awareness. So Yeah. So the one third of which is wasting by us in particularly a single time being wasting a 2 kg per person and a year we are wasting the food, which is I mean one side of the equation. Another side, the still the people are being very very 30% of young people, young children, and people, there is a very malnutrition problem is there. Like as earlier mentioned, World Food Day on each year, there is a strategic report saying that each year, based upon the population and based upon the locality and GDP, like different scenario, the environmental, based upon that, they are releasing their statistics before survey on the World Food Day. So we have to be a more like mindful consumption. Like each day, we have been getting a lot of food. I mean, we have been generated by by the farmers. They are difficultly. We are all know very well. On each day, they are spending a lot of effort to make their our life to be a more, I mean, good and healthy through the agricultural level. But the another scenario, like still there is a we have to be spend we have to be more concentrating in the storage of all the food cultivated after the cultivating. We have to be given the particular space for them, and we have to be restructured the environmental. And after that, the food has to be the whole kind of food is being transiting through the transport, and there is a lot of luggage in the roadside. Why there is no proper thing in the scenario is being based upon the locality different. So after kind of all the process, we are in the food I mean on EP procurement, making the food kitchen, and we have been eating first that in this is the whole process we have identified. As of now, we have known there is a I mean very minimal enough things happening. But it's like what is happening in our country, but we are suffering for the petrol, diesel, and gas. It's a very is a very basic things for our interact. The prey still there is a been we are able to sustain that situation, but even though this kind of things happening, we are still wasting the food in the other side. That's a big issue or big things, because another side still the people are big, I mean, very suffering to take a single meal. For example, on daily basis, in Chennai we are able to feed thousands of people in Chennai, particularly in Chennai. That is the in no case scenario, but it's a not an I mean big level of activities. I mean, it's like we are all to be more conscious to make and support the initiative. And though the people are being kind of, I mean scenario in the you definitely want to about this. You will take to volunteer to donate the excess. So that's the only thing we can control the excess food and be feeding the. people. Like that's the thing we want to be share right now, right away. So these are all the statistical wise how we have been the food has been wasted by us as well as the hunger mapping. Like we are in the alarming stage. So the people have been under nutrition aspect. Every 37.9% of children under 5 years content. I mean, without getting a proper food on daily basis. So, yes, the global index saying that the India being on 150 position out of 127 country in 2024. So each year, World Food Day, we will get this kind of activity, I mean, scenario of health. So as of now, whatever the excess foods we are I mean, getting or we are collecting through the restaurant or wedding events, even though in individual house, we are yet to donate to needy people. The overall the population feel or stay because in Chennai on every the willing Chennai to as the balloon or make life better. But most uh, travel or I mean post there's few days or 1 week, 10 days, if that particular situation it's a very difficult for them if they're not getting a proper job. That's why the recent Madras School of Social have been identified almost 13,500 people have been in homeless in scenario in Chennai, particularly in the North Madras. That is a scenario like not only the being homeless people have been single old age people. The people have been also they are migrant people. So also family similar enough they are not ready to move some other location because of I mean, because of their source of living and they are not ready to move on to other location. That's why 13,500 has been identified in Chennai alone. This is about Chennai. Suddenly, Tamil Nadu, the same 13,000 to 500 people are as the Tamil Nadu of the Chennai equally spread as the people. So another scenario we have been seeing through the Madras School of the reports and have been very calculated. So that's why we are looking how we can connect all other cities to about their excess food or need. There is a need is across the Tamil Nadu. We have been trying to bridge between this kind of uh, requirement. So come to our no food waste. I mean solution. We have been collecting the excess food so far almost in Chennai, particularly from the since 2018. We have almost reached 25,000 lakh full is counting. I mean, it's adding more by plus a day on every. So we are also trying to creating our source like we are also part with the IPL. We are just trying to get our in the IPL match which is happening in South Stadium. So that's the initiative called the food waste IPL. It is we will be collect their food parallelly the check-ups inside the check-ups or near the check-ups medium. Those people are we just to create our now the no food waste have been in on the collection also how the it is important the parallelly how environmental are suffering through this phase. So that's the scenario. So we are just trying to reduce the food waste in Chennai, and we are want to be donate to the needy people. So this is the food recovery hierarchical model where we can source a reduction like reduction the things like for scenario where we can be as said we can donate with wherever the excess food in our source itself. Also, we can be a mindful consumption. That's the main thing. Even though if there is excess food, we can try to donate to the nearby, I mean, people hotspot, which has been identified by us. Also, you can just try to find the people And then next scenario, or else other scenario, we can donate or we can feed the animals through the excess food. It can be another uh, hierarchical things we can use to spread. And most probably the oils and other things have been also utilized for the industrial uses, are being utilized for the other resources to repurpose the things. So, and particularly FSSAI of Tamil Nadu or India saying that that is, if the single use of oil can be uh, particularly used for the gas generation. So that is the awareness it's going on. Parallelly, no food waste also working on. So then we can as another thing, composting. Composting and landfill is be a last scenario in the pipeline, because whatever the resource we have been generating and we have to be feed or we have to reuse the things, then we can be cut down the food waste or any waste in the particular source. So where we this is the our conception like mindful like pledge which we used to. So the awareness we used to take a place where we can planning our shop ways we can reduce the in home health. It's a food that we can to the need people another likewise it's in a where can find a
One, 1 minute. Again, there is some issues, echo issues, network issues.
Hello, hi team. Good evening all. Sorry about the audio disturbance. So I'm Raja Pandian. I handle operations and strategy for no food waste. So you know, had a clear introduction about what we do and what's the scenario about the food waste happening in Chennai. So for Chennai, I'm associated with no food waste for the last 2 to 3 years. For me, it was a change of heart to move away from education towards this uh, impact or intervention in food scale, because I saw the reality of how risking food and how good of an impact it's creating around the low-income communities like homeless people living in housing boards or the rural community. So for me, it was a personal. I got a conviction to get full time into this. Arun has been doing a wonderful work for the last 8 years by initiating this chapter in Chennai and putting it out. So slowly we have built into a team of 15 full timers. We have a fleet of 6 vehicles and a fully operational kitchen in Pallikarnai. And these are the vision and mission. So initially, in 2014, when No Food Waste was founded by a group of college students, it revolved around the concern about how food is being wasted in a marriage uh, hall or marriage function. So they put in effort to collect those what was left over and they shared it with the slum nearby. And that's how the whole organization was initiated. And during COVID, we had around 10, 11 chapters actually, around one in Kerala, in Hyderabad we had a good number of Salem, Madurai. So many of them are very much active, but post-COVID, uh, due to reduction in volunteer engagements and due to some defocus in the leaders in those chapters, their bandwidth of work in of collection of excess would kind of it's a different level. But in Chennai, Arun kind of took it as a point to not deviate and focus precisely in this excess food collection and distribution. And Chennai being such a large metro, we were able to find a good number of supporters who joined into a multi-year supporting ecosystem, since it's a highly operationally intensive work, because to maintain a fleet of vehicles, we should be we should arrange the funds and resource for salary, fuel, maintenance, so many things going around. So and there are no week off or weekdays. It's like all 365 days our team is on ground. So apart from precisely working to reduce the food waste happening in Chennai, our team works in creating awareness about the points, either institutions, schools, or corporates, about how to reduce the food waste in their personal capacity and institutional. Next slide. Arun, next slide. Yeah. So to simply showcase in a graphical form, these are the three parts of our major work. Recover untouched excess food, the logistics part of transporting it to a hunger spot, and over there sharing it, distributing it to the beneficiaries. So in Chennai, in these 8 years of work, we have identified 150 plus hunger spots. Among them, like 48 are shelters operated by GCC, Greater Chennai Corporation. Then you have low-income communities like housing boards like Kannagi Nagar, Semenjeri, which are housing more than lakh families. And there are private orphanages and shelters spread across Chennai, and not every one of them receive these access food. Only the highly desperate or people who are in a struggle to arrange food for the inmates, they request and we channelize access food for them. And in the outskirts of Chennai, you could find more than few hundred settlements of irregular tribe people. So for them, when we channelize these excess food, it's a major benefit. In fact, both in nutrition aspect, health aspect, and in the financial aspect. And if you see the sustainability, environmental sustainability part of the whole operation, uh, you could see the figure. Every kg of food being rescued from a landfill, being rescued from ending up in landfill is equal to 2.53 kg of CO2 equivalent. So recently, you would have seen corporates and business entities are moving towards ESG form of governance, ESG form model, wherein corporates could buy in carbon credits to offset and move towards the net zero uh, form. So we in last year we have documented with supporting documents with the clear documentation of our impact figures, and we calculate our there are two parameters in which we calculate our impact. One is the weight of food being collected. So we have uh, at every collection, our team they weigh the food being collected. We have a GPS picture being taken at the source of collection, and at the distribution point, the number of people being benefited from this distribution. Next slide. So in that way, we are able to bring in two aspects. One is the hunger mitigation, the intervention in hunger side. The other is sustainability aspect, which is in measured in carbon emission equivalent. So you could see the picture over there is the public connection. That's our collection vehicles. Every vehicle have their own set of vessels, and our team are certified. They have to complete a certification offered by Food Safety Department called FOSTAG. So by this, we follow the guidelines of Food Safety Department on what are the foods to be collected, which are to be rejected. By doing a smell, taste, and visibility test, we are able to, in these 8 years of operations, and we have been able to rescue and challenge more than 2.5 million plates of food. On a yearly basis, we are able to hover around like 2 to 3 lakh plates. Last year it was 3.12 lakh people fed in our efforts. And the flow chart, you could see how from a food donation spot like in Chennai, we collect from IIT Madras. We have 13 canteens catering daily food needs for need of 4,000 plus students and staff. Likewise, recently we started our collection from SRM University where they are preparing food for 10,000 students and staff. And Zoho, it has two campuses and they provide daily food for 2,000 plus engineers. So these are some hotspots of, where we collect on a daily basis. In IIT, we collect both lunch and dinner. So it's collected, and in a matter of 30 to 45 minutes, it will reach the pre-designated hunger spot. According to the quantity of food, our team decide where it will be optimal to share, because it's not like it will be advisable to have a large quantity of food and go to multiple hunger spots, because time is very crucial over here to maintain the quality of food. And recently we have upgraded all our collection vessels into thermostat hot boxes donated by few partners. And you could see the type of beneficiaries: shelters, roadside people, which are who are mostly homeless, and slums like housing boards and low-income communities and orphanages. Next slide. And these are the three SDG goals we are working. And broadly, 90% of the work happens in food rescue and distribution. Apart from these daily collections, we do collect from events, marriages, concerts. Like Arun mentioned, last week we had a collection from IPL, CSK's inauguration, and around 800 plus pizzas and few hundred burgers, and so many of unsold food items were handed over to our team. And by up until early morning 3:30, we were going around Marina, Besna beaches, where you find thousands of people sleeping on the beaches. So we are able to share that excess food with them. And if not collected, definitely those food would have been sent to landfill, or they'll be labeled as waste. So, and we do have a kitchen where we prepare fresh food, and according to whenever individual donors and corporates, when they want to do a food donation through CSR, we do fresh food preparation, and we distribute mostly for the attendants of government hospital. Uh, they find very good usage when fresh packed food is given. And apart from that, shelters and homeless, we do these fresh food preparation and sharing. So Share Your Special Day is a program we run wherein the individual people could contribute a small amount, and our kitchen will prepare the specified quantity and we share. And last year we had this grocery collection among the schools in the brand Little Millennium. So in a matter of few days, our team was able to reach out to 60 schools of that Little Millennium brand, and the students, they brought in uh, rice, different types of rice from their homes, and around 5 tons of rice was collected. It was segregated in our kitchen into like pacharici, pulunga rice, and we packed it in 5 kg packages, and in around 1,000 irregular families were distributed these rice packets. That's it. Next slide. So you could see the partnership which we are working. One is Zoho and IT, which I mentioned. And with Zoho, we have been working with them pre-COVID itself. It's almost our sixth year of work. And on a daily basis, from both Zoho and IT, we are able to uh, uh, rescue and distribute food enough to feed more than 1,000 plus people. Next slide. Arun, next slide. Yeah, that's a figure. Like 2.5 million is our impact figure in these years of operation. And we have the potential to engage volunteers, either corporate employees or students who have this requirement of volunteering engagement. And our kitchen during COVID, we were able to fully utilize the kitchen's capacity. Around 5,000 meals were prepared on a daily basis to be distributed with support of by corporation and food safety department identify the need. And we do have regularly corporate employees coming into the kitchen to collaborate in the community kitchen project. They support the kitchen staff in preparation of quantity of food, and it will be channelized to a irregular village or where it's required. Apart from that, we have this nutrition kit program where corporates, they fund and they volunteer to prepare a nutrition kit like dry fruits, chana, peanuts, and health mix. All those things will be put together, packed, and it will be shared to the women of these irregular communities. And during monsoons or cyclones, we do engage a good set of corporates and volunteers in making relief efforts. And last year we were able to reach out to cyclone affected parts of Andhra Telanganam. Around 300 families were supported through this initiative. Since we work on ground on a daily basis, we are able to identify the need of the people, the beneficiary. It could be Irulas, it could be low-income housing board people, it could be the shelters, inhabitants of shelters. So in that way, we are able to channelize. But we see just we are a team of 15. So when a small team of 15 people with 6 vehicles and a small kitchen space, if we are able to create an impact of this figure like 3 lakh plates of food being rescued. Then think about when a large, when multiple organizations or when the same model when it's scaled, we'd be able to make a great impact in reducing the whole lot of food waste being currently happening. Maybe maybe we are catering to 1 or 2% of existing food waste happening in Chennai because it's just two institutions and 1 or 2 corporates. There are hundreds of colleges in Chennai and hundreds of corporates and industrial cafeterias operating in Chennai, and you could see the figure. We envision or we aspire to scale our present operation to meet our and rescue on a daily basis at least 10,000 plates of food, which is doable very easily, and we are confident in the coming years we'll be able to scale it up. But what we want is to we want to inspire same kind of operations or same kind of initiatives inspired by newly upcoming organizations or individuals who want to replicate in either in Chennai or in different cities. So last year our team was selected one among the pitch startup pitch in Chennai called in IIT Madras called Carbon Zero Challenge, and our team was selected in top 25 and they funded us into building a tech platform. So by next month our team will be releasing this prototype of a mobile application and web application wherein these 150 hunger spots will be published, and when a donor when they want to when they have a excess food, good quality of excess food, and they want to share it with any hunger spot, they could register and they'll be connected with the nearest hunger spot. And every hunger spot will be having a POC, a volunteer, who will support the donor in distribution. So in this way, I think we'll be able to make a larger impact in uh, channelizing excess food to these low-income communities who support in reducing food waste. So ethically, culturally, our people we have this tendency to avoid or to have we have a guilt if when food goes to waste. Everyone wants to make it find a good use of whatever food excess food left over. But there is so much of inhibition, so much of uh, like logistical problem, like where to give, well, will the people accept, how to give, what is a good quality of food to uh, it will be viable for distribution. So I think this tech platform will be a very good tool to connect whatever excess food available in a household level to a event level or industrial level to these hunger spots. I think we feel technology will fill in the gap of whatever operational hindrance we have here presently. So that's something which our team is looking up to. And among the audience, like if you feel that like IIT, SRM, or so forth, if you feel anyone in your network will be a ideal food donor in this no food waste operation, you could definitely connect. And if you find any volunteering opportunity you want to engage along with the end of the so you could always reach out to our team. We'll be more than happy to collaborate and um, increase the impact, scale our impact. And definitely once in the next couple of years, once we have a solid scaling up in Chennai, we are looking up to uh, replicate this across the nation. So that's something our team is inspiring. So anyone who wants to learn or wants to volunteer, we are more than happy to have your role to share our the work we do and to to receive any of your support, any expertise in fundraising, communications, any volunteering intent, we are more than happy to post. So that's it, and I think we are almost moving towards side. So these are few pictures. The one in the center is Arun having a talk with a group of school children about how to avoid food waste. That's corporate employees supporting with community kitchen. They are into packing food. And the left corner you'll see irregular tribes coming out of vessels from their home to collect excess food. So that's it. And these are some of the recognitions which we, Food Waste team have received. We are one of the consulate members of the United Nations ECOS. We are only consulting members. And we closely work with the Food Safety Department, and we are part of the state level monitoring committee. And in Chennai, that's it. For the No Food Waste Chennai region, we work with Tiruvallur, Chengalpattu, Kanchipuram, and Chennai Food Safety districts. So there are so much of opportunity in this verticals, and we are a very small team, and we look forward to share, inspire, and take this ahead. So that's it. Thanks for your time. And Ashwini, if you have some time, you could allocate it for question and answers.
Thank you so much, Mr. Arun Kumar and Mr. Raja S. Pandian, for your engaging and meaningful session. So today's discussion reminds us that reducing food waste is not a complex task, but it is a conscious choice, a choice that we all have to create and to create a meaningful impact on our environment and our society. So as we observe International Zero Waste Day, let us make a small but powerful step in our daily lives to value food, reduce waste, and share it responsibly. So, on behalf of IDREA, I would like to thank all the participants, the speakers for joining us today and being a part of this important conversation. So, if anybody would like to ask any questions, you can drop your questions in the chat box. We'll be happy to take it to the speakers. Hello, participants. We have any questions? So, the first question is you mentioned that you are a very small team. So, how do you manage with such a small team?
Exactly. So that's a constraint. We are a team of 15. We have six vehicles. So we need six to seven drivers, helpers, and four members for the kitchen team. So presently, it's outright a operational module. So Arun has been for the last 8 years. This has been a one-man show. It has been one-man army doing all the stuff, being on ground along with the drivers, doing the fundraising part, doing the communication part. And slowly people have seen the potential, and we have been able to onboard a good number of partners, business group who support us financially. But still we are struggling in taking out communicating whatever work we are doing on a daily basis to the larger audience of CSR or people working in sustainability space. Because very recently only we totally changed our direction into showcasing our impact in sustainability angle, like the quantity of the weight of food being collected. Previously, up until 2 3 years back, it was only how many people were fed. So we see there's a lot of scope in sustainability angle about when certain kg of quantity of food being rescued. Um, if not rescued, it'll end up in landfill, and that's a catastrophe in sustainability angle, the CO2 emission, methane, and greenhouse emission, all those things. And again, we feel. in a individual level, it's a crime and ethical issue to waste so much of food when there is so much of despair. Uh, so Chennai alone having 13,500 documented homeless is a figure which has not reached, publicized it to the general public. I'm not sure. Definitely 90% of Chennai residents, they wouldn't know that there's such a large quantity of homeless people in Chennai region, and they have been documented. A good number of them are children, senior citizens, people with mental issues. So and there are likewise you see shelters, low-income communities who are more than happy to utilize all these excess food. See, the timing of food is something you see it's available only after 2:30, and by the time we distribute it, it will be 3:30 or 4 o'clock, and the people are they'll utilize for the upcoming meal. So this is a very robust, positive closing of the food cycle, and the potential is so much and we are desperate or we have this anxiety why there are no we don't have any uh, companion organizations like whom we look up to. If you see in the educational sector and climate actions, you see so many NGOs working in as advisory awareness part in on ground some, but in this food rescue distribution part we are a bit of a lone warrior. We are unable to see any newer entities coming. So it's a bit of a struggle, but still we are very hopeful. This small team, if this small team could manage so much, definitely when we scale up in the organization level and when we do a larger impact, we'll be able to inspire many more newer initiatives in Chennai and across the nation. And minimum quantity to collect. Yeah. So since we have these six vehicles, all those six vehicles, they have a collection schedule. So when we run a helpline, you could Google it and you will find it. So when we have a request in our helpline, only if the vehicle is the bandwidth of the vehicle is free and if the food quantity is minimum enough to feed more than 50 people. We check the availability and we connect the vehicle. If the food quantity is low, our helping person, they'll be more than happy to share your nearest hunger spot. Let's say we are saying you reside near Adayar, then we connect you with the nearest hunger spots. If you are in near Pallikane, we share you the shelter or the POC contact who will be able to collect those excess food. So it's according to situation. So mostly in the household level, food enough to feed 10 people is a larger quantity, but it's not when you put in the fuel, the human resource part in our term, it's not feasible. So that's where we see the mobile application will fill in the gap. It'll be automatically it'll check your location and connect you check the nearest hunger spots and give you the list of hunger spots to whom you could connect and do the food donations.
So, thank you. It's such an inspiring work you're doing, and it's really commendable to know all this. And the next question is, what are the operational challenges that you face, and how do you identify the potential food or hunger spots for distribution?
So hunger spots when Arun initiated Chennai chapter in 2018, it was a one-man stuff. Like he and one of our senior food van volunteer. We don't call them driver, we call them food van volunteer. His name is Arun. So Arul, they used to go in a mobile, like a bike with a carrier. They collect and they share it to the nearest hunger spot, which is a shelter. So slowly, food safety department they were able to identify a donor. They gave in a Omni van, a second-hand Omni van, and there was another donor who put in vessels, and that's how the team grew. And while we were able to, and it's a daily work. It's not a we work 5 days a week or only on wedding seasons. Nothing like that. We work all 365 days. So this consistent work of collection and distribution gave him so much of knowledge of where food is needed, where food is available. So that way, like every distribution, when we go into a irregular community, they give us the contact of the needy irregular community in a different location, and we document it. So in that month, in this 8 years, that's how we have come out with this 150 plus hunger spots. And it may look big, but it's a very smaller number for 3 to 4 districts in Chennai region. So when we are able to uh, collect or identify newer food donation spots, it's it's a matter of few days of field work to identify. It's easier. Most of the shelters, NGOs who operate shelters, NGOs who work with low income communities, they are more than happy to connect us with the hunger spot to identify a POC. So in that way, uh, presently the requirement is we are unable to cater to a single spot on a daily basis, maybe once a week or once in 2 weeks, because the quantity of food is low and the number of vehicles available is also low. So when we scale up the operational part, definitely we'll be able to cater to these hunger spot, the present hunger spot on a more frequency. The frequency could be increased. Hope I answered that. How does food waste affect the environment? So these food, the excess food, if not collected, they are labeled as food waste. And these food waste, they end up in landfill. Not all food waste are segregated and sent to. While Arun presenting, he showed this inverted pyramid, right? So the best use of excess food is people consuming it. The second best is it being sent as cattle feed, like piggery or people who prepare cattle food out of these excess food. Then composting, people who put it into a segregated food, put into a compost pit, and it could be used to generate biogas or manure. The worst part is uh, putting out in the landfill, which is happening presently. If food waste is not segregated, they'll end up in landfill mixed with non-decomposable waste, and they emit so much of methane and greenhouse gases. These food waste. So uh, that's a hazard, environmental hazard, what food waste. And among the major carbon emission activities, food waste in landfill is a major greenhouse emission. I think third most emission of greenhouse gases apart from fossil fuel and other activities. Do you have a membership to join? We have a volunteer group, a WhatsApp group where people could volunteer, and we put out, let's say, there's a excess food collection activity, a volunteering activity. We put it out in those volunteer WhatsApp groups, and people could register, and if they have free time for the mentioned activity, they could register and come in to be a volunteer. And we have a kitchen in Pallikarnai, so we are nearby. Or if you want to be part of the Share Your Special Day initiative, if a group of friends or a group office group, they could pitch in a small. They could contribute an amount to support a certain quantity of food which could be prepared. They could support packaging and they could be part of the distribution also. How will you ensure the collected food is not stale? So during my conversation, I mentioned since we closely work with the food safety department, all our team members, they have to complete this certification called Fast Tag, which is nothing but a one-day certification program where they have to study and be prepared about the guidelines to be followed for this excess food collection and distribution. So our team, once they are certified, once they completed the certification, they'll know by smell, taste, and visibility. Let's say being in Chennai, uh, it's when it's more humid and hot, and if the among the types of food available, if there is a coconut-based dish, our team avoids. They reject it at the source, even if it's good, it tastes good. We know coconut-based food, they tend to go stale very quickly. And recently we have changed all our collection vessels from stainless steel to hot boxes, which increases the shelf life of the food. And we do take samples of food being collected. And before distribution also, our team checks. Let's say if it's white rice, we do a small sample check In Tamil they say sadam thanni vittittu. In so if there's a water let out humidity due to humidity in white rice, then we don't distribute the food. It will be discarded with the waste management team. So in that way, in these years of operation, we have been able to make sure we don't our distribution, our activity doesn't end up in any food poisoning hazardous event. So we make sure at the source itself what are the foods it will be feasible for collection, and we make sure the risky dishes are rejected at the source through field survey. Sorry if I'm not missing any questions. Operation challenge presently, fundraising and communication is a major challenge which our team is facing. We are unable to take our daily, we have daily impact story. We are unable to do good work in social media communication, creating, documenting all the good work and creating a very effective social media online channels to reach out to a larger uh, potential of supporters, partners. Like, it's not just CSR or corporate. We see a larger potential in individuals. Like in Share especially is a every home, every individual has they they have a special day, like birthdays or anniversaries, and we do have people they donate contribute to food donation in remembrance of any of your loved ones. So we see a larger potential to increase the capacity, to utilize the full capacity of a kitchen. So presently, it's roughly not even 100 food packets on a daily basis. On some special days, we have food donation orders for like 500,000 people, but it's not consistent. We see the kitchen team is the kitchen is equipped to prepare food, fresh food for thousands of people, but we have been able we are unable to meet that need. So we see a major challenge in taking our good work to the society and bringing lots of support. So that's a challenge, and scaling, being an operational intensive work on a daily basis, there's a struggle with fuel, maintenance, uh, uh, like absence of managing human resource when a driver goes on leave. So every driver we have to give 4 day leave, and to manage, rotate the work schedule is a major challenge. So
So
I
the
hope
next
I'm
question,
answered it.
how does carbon reduction work for companies showing carbon reduction?
Sorry, could you come again on that?
How does carbon reduction work?
Yeah, so corporates and all business groups, they have this ESG model where they're moving towards net zero. So let's say it's a cement factory, their annual emission rate is few lakhs tons. Either they could directly uh, invest in carbon reduction activities like tree plantation, forestry activity, and so much. Likewise, uh, since we rescue food and we distribute our work impact in these the quantity of food being rescued and served it has a net positive carbon emission reduction, right? So 1 kg of food rescued is 2.53 kg. Last year our impact figure, we had this documentation of 160 tons of food being rescued and distributed. So that is easily few hundreds of carbon credits. So this way, companies either they could, if they have CSR uh, resource and they want to channelize into environmental sustainability, they could uh, be part of support our work in scaling our work, and they could own a set of impact through whatever is reflecting out of our work. So that way, companies could like tree plantation, like recycling effort, like solar. So many CSR projects are happening in solar. conversion of general lighting, solar lighting in rural parts, or changing of conventional lighting into solar lighting. So many projects happening. So we see this is something new. You won't see food rescue and distribution and people showcasing it as a sustainability, environmental sustainability activity. We see a major scope in this because there are not too many NGOs or organizations working in this highly operational intensive work of food collection distribution. Hope I
Thank
answered
you.
it.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Mr. Raja Pandian. So, having located in IIT Madras Research Park, it's great to know how IIT Madras had been efficient in managing their food waste as well. So, it was great to know how sharing surplus is going to restore balance in a economical, social, and sustainable way. So, thank you, Mr. Arun Kumar and Mr. Raja S. Pandian, for
Yeah,
this
there's
insightful
one last
session.
question. Yeah.
Yes.
So how will you preserve your food? So we don't preserve, sir. From the point of the food is collected after doing all after identifying the excess food and making sure it's edible and it will be good up until distribution. It will be transferred to our vessel and we mandate all our vessels with the food collected. It will be on a weighing scale and we have GPS pictures so that the quantity of food is recorded. And in a matter of 30 to 45 minutes, maximum 1 hour, the food will be at the distribution point and it will be distributed. So in that way, we don't have any preservation or storage concern. Whatever food is collected, it will be distributed at the earliest to the nearest hunger spot. When we have excess grocery or rice being collected, corporates do a grocery collection at the campus and they share it with us. Schools do it, officers do it, and in that way for those type of produce we have a very good shelf life, right? So we bring it to our kitchen, we segregate it, and we are able to utilize volunteers in that part, like repacking the whole collected excess grocery or rice. And we since it we take 2-3 days time to find a vehicle's bandwidth, and it will be sent to uh, our nearest mostly rural village. It will be distributed. Food, it's not more than 1 hour, 1 hour. It will be distributed. We make sure it's distributed within 45 minutes to the nearest hunger spot. Yeah, yes, Mini. Closer.
Thank you.
And if
Thank you,
any of you
everyone.
have any queries, you could always mail to Arun or Raja. My Arun site is Arun Kumar at mofoodwaste.org and mine is Rajapalian at mofoodwaste.org. You could find it in online also. So we are more than happy to share our work. If you want to visit our kitchen, it's in Pallikanai. We are happy to host anyone who wants to know in person what we do and um, collaborate or support. So thanks for your time. Thanks for joining in this wonderful presentation. We are happy to see so many of cases who spend their time to know about what we do. Yeah, thank you. Have a great uh, day. Thanks,
Thank
Ashwini.
you. Thank you, speakers, and thank you, participants, for listening patiently. So we'll meet for the next session. Thank you.